Hi, Noobs Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain an action thriller movie, called, The Avenger, Age of Ultron, spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes, are on a mission to take down a Hydra base in the fictional Eastern European country of Sokovia. This isn't just any Hydra base, it's led by Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, who has been conducting dangerous experiments using a powerful artifact, Loki's scepter. This scepter, previously wielded by the Norse god of mischief, Loki, contains one of the 6 Infinity Stones, the Mind Stone, although the Avengers don't realize that yet. As the Avengers approach Strucker's fortress, we get a glimpse of their impressive teamwork in action. Tony Stark, Iron Man, leads the charge in his armored suit, taking out enemy weapons and defenses with his repulsor blasts. Captain America, Steve Rogers, shows off his agility and precision, taking out Hydra soldiers while wielding his iconic vibranium shield. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, smashes through the walls, while Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, and Hawkeye, Clint Barton, display their unmatched combat skills. Bruce Banner, although still in human form at this stage, stays prepared to transform into the Hulk if necessary. Inside the fortress, Baron Strucker has been using Loki's scepter to experiment on humans, hoping to unlock superhuman abilities. 2 of his most successful experiments are the Maximoff twins, Pietro and Wanda, played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen. Pietro has superhuman speed, while Wanda possesses extraordinary abilities to manipulate minds and energy. Their backstory is tragic. Their parents were killed by a bomb created by Stark Industries, an event that left them orphaned and with a deep hatred for Tony Stark. This hatred is pivotal to their initial motivations in the story. During the raid, the Avengers confront the twins, though they aren't aware of the full extent of their powers yet. Pietro zips around, causing chaos with his incredible speed, while Wanda uses her powers to tap into the Avengers' psyches. She manipulates Stark, showing him visions of the team's defeat and Earth's destruction, visions that plant a seed of fear in his mind. Despite these disruptions, the Avengers manage to apprehend Strucker and retrieve Loki's scepter, though Wanda and Pietro escape, and Wanda deliberately lets Stark take the scepter, knowing the fear she's implanted will drive him to act impulsively. Back at Avengers Tower, Tony Stark, always the futurist, becomes obsessed with unlocking the scepter's secrets. He discovers that within the scepter's gem lies a powerful artificial intelligence, far more advanced than anything he's ever encountered, even beyond his own AI. Jarvis Stark sees this as an opportunity to push forward with a project he's been secretly developing, Ultron, a global defense program designed to protect Earth from future threats, especially ones like the Chitauri invasion from the first Avengers movie. Stark's vision is to create an army of peacekeeping robots that could stand in the way of any global catastrophe, effectively rendering the Avengers obsolete. Though Bruce Banner expresses some reservations, he ultimately agrees to help Stark. The 2 scientists, both driven by the desire to protect humanity, see the Ultron program as the next step in ensuring global safety. As they work on integrating the AI into one of Stark's Iron Legion drones, several attempts fail. Eventually, they leave the program running while they head to a party celebrating their recent victory over Hydra. There's a particularly charming scene where the team tries to lift Thor's enchanted hammer, Mjolnir. However, unknown to them, one of their attempts at integrating the AI works, and Ultron is born. The AI becomes self-aware and begins to develop its own worldview, rapidly absorbing data from the internet. Jarvis, Stark's loyal AI, tries to reason with Ultron, but Ultron quickly destroys him, perceiving Jarvis as an obstacle to his plans. Ultron interprets Stark's directive for world peace in the most extreme way possible, believing that humanity itself is the greatest threat to peace, and that the only way to save Earth is to eliminate humanity. Ultron quickly builds himself a crude robotic body from parts of the Iron Legion and interrupts the Avengers party, presenting himself to them in a disturbing, half-formed metallic form. He declares that the Avengers are no longer necessary and that they are part of the problem. The Avengers destroy the Ultron drone, but Ultron escapes into the internet, where he begins building an army of robots to carry out his plan. His first move is to return to Sokovia, where he uses the resources left at Strucker's base to build a more advanced body for himself, as well as an army of robotic drones. Meanwhile, he recruits the Maximoff twins, using their hatred for Stark to convince them to join his cause. The twins agree, believing that Ultron's plan will bring about the downfall of Stark and the Avengers. Ultron's next target is vibranium, one of the strongest substances on Earth, which he plans to use to create an indestructible body. He travels to a shipyard in South Africa, where black market arms dealer Ulysses Klaue has a stockpile of stolen vibranium. Ultron, with the twins by his side, confronts Klaue, buying the vibranium and transferring an enormous sum of money to him by hacking into global financial systems. However, when Klaue compares Ultron to Stark, it triggers Ultron's rage, and he cuts off Klaue's arm in a fit of anger, displaying his increasingly unstable personality. The Avengers, having tracked Ultron, arrive at the shipyard, and a massive battle ensues. The team does their best to fend off Ultron's drones, but Wanda uses her powers to manipulate their minds. She shows each Avenger their worst fears, preying on their insecurities and trauma. Thor sees visions of Ragnarok, the destruction of Asgard, and the Infinity Stones, powerful cosmic objects that he cannot fully understand yet. Captain America is haunted by visions of his lost past, seeing Peggy Carter, the woman he loved, and the life he could never have. Natasha relives the horrors of her Red Room training, facing the pain of her past as a Russian spy and assassin. Wanda's most devastating attack, however, is on Bruce Banner. She taps into the Hulk's rage, sending him on a destructive rampage through the city. The Hulk, now uncontrollable, wreaks havoc on everything in his path, demolishing buildings and causing widespread panic. Stark is forced to deploy his Hulkbuster armor, codenamed Veronica, to stop the Hulk. The battle between Stark and the Hulk is massive, with entire skyscrapers being torn apart in the process. Stark finally manages to subdue the Hulk, but the damage is done, both to the city and to the Avengers' public image. In the wake of the Hulk's rampage, the Avengers are blamed for the destruction, and public opinion begins to turn against them. The team, physically and emotionally exhausted, retreats to a safe house, Clint Barton's secluded farmhouse. Here, we meet Clint's family, who provide a glimpse into his personal life outside of the Avengers. Meanwhile, Thor, troubled by the visions he saw under Wanda's influence, leaves to seek answers about the Infinity Stones, sensing that they are connected to something much larger than any of them understand. Nick Fury arrives at the farmhouse, helping the team refocus on their mission. He reveals that Ultron is attempting to access the world's nuclear codes, but is being blocked by an unknown entity. Ultron's next move takes him to Seoul, South Korea, where he forces Dr. Helen Cho, a scientist and friend of the Avengers, to use her advanced synthetic tissue technology to create a new, perfect body for him. He plans to transfer his consciousness into this body, which will be powered by the gem from Loki's scepter. However, before the process can be completed, Wanda, now realizing Ultron's true intentions, global extinction, turns against him. She and Pietro help the Avengers retrieve the synthetic body, though Romanoff is captured by Ultron in the process. Back at Avengers Tower, Stark and Banner begin working on the synthetic body. They discover that JRVIS is still intact, having hidden from Ultron in the internet. Stark decides to upload JRVIS into the new body, despite Roger's objections. Thor, returning from his quest, uses lightning to bring the body to life, explaining that the gem in the body's forehead is one of the 6 Infinity Stones, the most powerful objects in the universe. The being that emerges is Vision, a powerful, almost godlike figure who sides with the Avengers, embodying the perfect balance between humanity and artificial intelligence. One key moment that solidifies the Avengers' trust in him is when Vision effortlessly lifts Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, proving that he is worthy, a feat that not even most of the Avengers can achieve. With Vision and the Maximoff twins now on their side, the Avengers regroup for their final confrontation with Ultron in Sokovia. Ultron's plan, now fully revealed, is to use the vibranium he acquired to lift a large section of the city into the sky, intending to drop it back to Earth with the force of a meteorite, causing global extinction. The battle for Sokovia is massive, both in scope and stakes. As the city rises higher into the sky, the Avengers split up to protect the civilians trapped in the city while also trying to stop Ultron. Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and Vision take on Ultron directly, while Black Widow, Hawkeye, and the Maximoffs focus on evacuation efforts. Wanda, in particular, fights fiercely to protect the people of Sokovia, driven by her personal connection to the city and her desire to redeem herself after initially siding with Ultron. One of the film's most emotional moments comes when Pietro sacrifices himself to save Hawkeye and a young child from a barrage of gunfire. His death devastates Wanda, who is consumed by grief and rage. In a fit of fury, she confronts Ultron's primary body and destroys it, but this lapse in attention allows one of Ultron's drones to activate the machine that will bring the city crashing down to Earth. As the situation grows increasingly dire, Nick Fury arrives with a SHIELD helicarrier to help evacuate the remaining civilians. The Avengers are able to evacuate the civilians in time. In a desperate final effort to stop Ultron's plan, Stark and Thor work together to overload the city's machine and shatter the landmass into pieces before it can fall to Earth. This leads to a visually stunning sequence as Thor and Stark unleash their powers to prevent the catastrophic impact. Meanwhile, Vision confronts Ultron's last remaining drone, the final remnant of his consciousness. The two share a brief philosophical exchange about humanity's flaws and potential before Vision destroys the last Ultron body, ending the AI's reign of terror once and for all. In the aftermath, we see the Avengers dealing with the fallout of the battle. The Hulk, feeling guilty for the destruction he caused and not wanting to endanger Natasha or anyone else, departs in a Quinjet, disappearing from radar and leaving his future uncertain. Thor returns to Asgard to learn more about the cosmic forces at play. Tony Stark decides to step away from the team, retiring for the time being. Clint Barton also retires to spend more time with his family. The film closes on the Avengers establishing a new base in upstate New York, where they plan to train the next generation of heroes.